Well, we left off over at Ochre Court in 1947. Salve had one building for its campus. Well, Mr. Golette was so pleased with how things turned out with the new Salve Regina College that in 1948 he decided to turn over more property to Salve. So this building, 2 blocks away from Ochre Court, is now known as Anton Center, but it was the stables for Ochre Court. This red brick building here with the stables. It was designed by Richard Morris Hunt. He's the same architect who designed Ochre Court. People sometimes wonder, why would the stables be 2 blocks away from the mansion? Wouldn't you want your garage right next door to your house? Well, of course, no one wanted the smell of the horses right next door, so he purposely put this 2 blocks away. Well, in 1948, Salve was glad to have a second building in its campus, and so if you came in 1948 as a freshman, you might be living here. This might be your dorm rather than Ochre Court. There were also chem labs and bio labs put in this building, and there was a gym. You could be shooting basketball inside here. So they used the building for a lot of different things, Mr. Golette's old stable. Well, one of the things Salve has accomplished here is they've been able to combine this stable with another stable. And as we walk, I want you to look and see if you could tell that this wasn't all one building. So we're going to walk over and see where Salve connected the Ochre Court stables with another stable. This building now, Anton Center, no longer has any gym in it, no longer has any chem labs in it. It's got classrooms, and it's also the offices for the art department, for the theater department. There's a small theater inside here. There's art studios. The English department is housed here. So if you notice the red brick, we're still in what were the old stables for Ochre Court. But now, you notice the other stone building here. This is a second stable, and that was part of Chateau-sur-Mer, a Bellevue Avenue mansion. And so that's 2 blocks in the other direction. And again, they didn't want their stable too close to their mansion. So Salve obtained this building in the 1970s, and I want you to look at what they did. In 2007, they built this connector, what's called a breezeway. You see these 2 glass doors, those are new, or within the last 10 years, and that connects the old Chateau-sur-Mer stable over here with the Ochre Court stable. But I think most people, when they walk by, wouldn't notice that there was this new addition linking these buildings up. The Chateau-sur-Mer stable, it's used by the art department, but it's also used by the cultural and historic preservation department. So if anyone is a major in cultural and historic preservation, your labs are going to be in here, in what had been former horse stables, where you could see where the horses used to be kept. And maybe you can see through the breezeway, there's 6 tennis courts. So if you're a tennis player, you might go here and use that. We left off. It was 1948, and you were a freshman. And now you had a second building you could go to, which is part of the Anton Center. Your dorm might be there in the old Ochre Court stables. Maybe you'd be playing basketball in the gym that they have, or doing chem or bio experiments in the labs. But still, only 2 buildings. Well, let's fast forward to 1951. You're a freshman now in 1951. Well, Salve gets its 3rd property. And this old cottage is known as Moore Hall, and decided by Cornelius Moore. Cornelius Moore was Mr. Golet's lawyer, his personal lawyer. It was Cornelius Moore who had the idea that maybe Ochre Court could be turned over and made into a college, made into Salve Regina College. Well, as soon as Salve got founded, Cornelius Moore became chairman of the Board of Trustees in 1947, so he remained very interested in the success of the college. And so by 1951, Cornelius Moore bought this mansion, this cottage, and he decided to name it for his parents. So even today, it's called Moore Hall, and there's a blue sign over there in the corner that says Moore Hall. And I think now it's a sophomore dorm. It's got room for about 30 students. So Cornelius Moore not only gave this cottage, but he gave a good piece of empty land. So if we turn and look behind us, we can see a sizable dorm that's known as Hunt Reed is part of the Moore property. This went up in the mid-1980s, and it was supposed to be modeled on a hotel in that each room had its own bathroom, very different from a traditional dorm.